Magnus has played after b6. Magnus has played bishop a1,
a6 and queen b2.
a6 and queen b2, moving away from c file. Oops, have to show this one. Yeah, moving away from c file so that there will be no b5 for black. And GRISCHUK just played a move which I've missed. Yeah, rook c4 of course is not an option because of mate in 1.
Do you think it's time for white to play h4, the next move?
You mean to just to block everything, to put the bishop on h3 maybe? Maybe that's an idea. I think he still keeps hoping that he will play g4 somewhere. Because that also allows black to move the knight to h6 and g4. Maybe. Still hard to say. Yeah, so white, it might seem that white is, getting some threats against the king. In fact, white is trying to build some sort of a fortress, right? White is trying to build some sort of
g5?
a fortress.
Black played g5?
Black has played g5. Wow. And you know what? In the game between Boris Savchenko and Peter Swidler, Boris Savchenko is an exchange up, so it's another crazy game there. And Savchenko, who we did not see him at all on the top boards, he apparently won quite a few last games, and he's much better now against Peter Swidler, which is who actually had a very, very good tournament, but that's
How
especially painful, is to lose in the last round. I mean, it's still chances for Swidler. It's not like he is completely lost, but it's not that pleasant, of course, to be an exchange down. Really, really crazy position for Artemiev and Fedoseev, where literally anything can happen. Nepomniachtchi went to sacrifice an exchange. I told you he will. I told you he will. And actually, in this version, it does look promising what he has done.
I don't know. What happens if d takes c?
If d takes, it's bishop d7 and then the rook enters. Bishop c6, pardon.
Bishop c6?
What? No, that's stupid. That was my line, right? I mean, this is not what I wanted to do. Or is it what has happened? I think this is what has happened now.
No.
This is that's what it says, the text. If dc6, if dc5, it's bishop c6, and then those rooks are kind of stuck, and the rook can
rook e6, rook d6.
Rook e6. Okay, probably rook d7.
Why that rook?
If you mean the other rook.
Yeah.
The other rook to e6.
Yeah.
Possible. Then still perhaps rook goes here. Okay, I don't know.
Now take on c6 and rook e6.
Even like this. This I'm not sure, because it's like all of your pieces will be passive. And it's c4, it's a Zug's one already. Have to give this pawn.
In the game it was b takes c5 and b6, just like you said.
bc5, b6,
and this is the
c6,
position.
rook b1. So Nepomniachtchi is trying to enter with his rook, but also now I can't believe that some rook d5 can happen. Let's go back to Magnus, because this is I think the decisive stage of this game. I don't really like how it looks for Magnus Carlsen.
He lost c pawn.
Yeah, after g5 he has played queen b1. Yeah, and everything is tight, everyone's tight, and even my digital board seems to be tired, because the moves are coming with a lot of delay. So queen b1 attacking e4 pawn, rook takes c4. The e4 pawn is protected, black takes yet another pawn, a lot of threats on the king side, obviously. Well, now I realize why you wanted to play h4, because black gets to white's king via g5. Not even sure what Magnus can do here. I think he's completely lost. Queen b2. Okay, let's see. Queen b2, rook goes back to c8. And now if it's queen b1 again, I think GRISCHUK can simply play rook e8, protecting the e4 pawn. I mean, it's still very tense, but the trend looks that GRISCHUK improves the situation pretty much. Well, checking the other games here around. Still very sharp it looks for Fedoseev and Artemiev. I think Artemiev kind of improved the situation a lot.
What's going on here?
Magnus is getting the queen on f6. What's that?
How?
What that? Bishop takes e4. Ah, this is what has happened. He has taken on e4 and went queen f6, which looks like a desperate try to me. I'm yet to understand what he's threatening. Bishop
Check
e4,
on f7.
queen e4, queen f6. Check on e4 and what then? You can check on f7 and what's then? Ah, fg5. fg5. Yeah, this knight is somewhat hanging
So
in the
now
air.
g6, rook g6 and queen h8 is a...
Ah yeah, now it's a
It's-
threat. Now it's actually a very serious threat. Well, that's impressive. That's impressive. Meanwhile, the second board in the women's section has finished. It's a draw, I guess. So Ju Wenjun is the official champion.
It's clear.
But, yeah, let's see if GRISCHUK will find a move. Because so far I can't really see. Can't really see any move for Alexander GRISCHUK. And honestly, I don't even see a... I know, g6 is not... I'm not forced to take. That's the trick. g6, I go king h6.
I know.
g7, I go back to h7. So h4. So GRISCHUK has realized that. And he goes h4.
Check on f7.
Check
Knight
on
f7.
knight g7.
Knight
yeah.
g7.
Knight g7. Let's not forget.
1 minute for
It's the whole
CARLSEN
rook up
and-
for. It's a whole rook up for Alexander GRISCHUK.
Oh,
Meanwhile, yes, a lot of a lot of people which we used to have on the stage, a lot of players which we used to have as the leaders, they are in a very tight spot. So CARLSEN is in a very bad shape, it seems, in this position. Fedoseev is at serious risk with the white pieces, as well as Svitla against Savchenko. It still looks like a very good chance for Savchenko to win this one. Okay, so, well, few more moves followed. King g1, a check from b1. King g2, a check from e4. King back to g1. So what's the point here? Don't really understand. So if the pawn takes, simply? If the pawn takes, what's the trick? What's the trick? I don't see a trick.
I don't think there is any trick.
Don't see a trick. GRISCHUK is down to 20 seconds. He takes on g3. He takes on g3. I no longer see any trick from Magnus. He has lost this one. What can I say? The moment where everyone thought that finally Magnus managed to climb on his board, won the, being the leader of the tournament, and then he slowed down quite a bit. He made 2 draws. Well, he started this day very nicely, right? I mean, winning 2 in a row with the black pieces.
Yeah, and then
he
2
made
draws.
2 draws, and now I think he's on the verge of losing. I mean, he's the whole rook down, and I don't really see what he can do here. He's looking obviously for one last trick, or well, h4, a check from b1. So 2 more checks quickly from GRISCHUK. The game is not over. h4, h5, this is what CARLSEN wants. The key line is of course this one, so that if black takes on h4, no, then it's king g3, and it's still tricky, right? Queen b1 check, knight takes h4 check played, king goes to g3, king takes on g3, so that's what happens here. Check here, check, king g3. The fact is that, you know, now the threat of queen f7 is the real threat. Now a threat of queen f7 is the real threat. So we might have the endgame, it looks. I mean, is queen f5 a move here? Because if it is...
Queen f5?
Yeah, queen f5.
Queen h6.
Ah, well, I forgot about one more threat. So there isn't such thing. Queen g6 is an option. Queen g6 is an option, and after this check to go rook g7, keeping in mind this fork. No, Grischuk went with the checks. Maybe it was too early when I said Magnus Carlsen has lost. Maybe it was too early. A check. King to g4, a check from e4, king to h5. The game is still on, but now queen g6. Now with queen g6, Alexander Grischuk can swap the queens. Queen g6, king goes to h4, queen takes f6. Bishop takes f6, and now king g6, and the b pawn is alive, and this should be completely winning for black. We still, of course, will follow the game till the very end. Meanwhile, I can say that Fedoseev is completely winning. And how many points he has? Fedoseev has won.
9.5 right now, and he won.
Yeah, Fedoseev
So
has
that
won
means
already.
10.5.
10.5. So
Tied
he
from first.
tied for first. Fedoseev is tied for first. He has lost to...
Nepomniachtchi won as well.
Nepomniachtchi won as well, so once again, it will be a huge tie with 10.5 points, right? Seems that nobody's gonna score 11. Right, so Magnus is running with his king, so king g4, b5, b5, a takes, king to f4, and now rook e8, I guess. Now just play rook e8. Rook e8, cutting the king, the b pawn will continue moving. Bishop to c3, Magnus tries to stop the pawn. Is it tricky